Or sideways.
Yeah, look at the microphone.
What up, Facebook? How is everyone doing? Most of you guys that are watching this part of the live call, this is going to be recorded, so hope you guys enjoy what you're about to see. And this is going to be probably my main opportunity video for a good long time now, because I had another one, but I had too much nonsense in it. Regardless, okay, everyone's jumping on already. 30 people. When this gets to like 50, 60, 70 people, we're going to start this. I'm going to go through my story on how I became an entrepreneur. I'm going to go through how I found this business model, dropshipping. I'm going to go through how I built it to where it is. And then finally, I'm going to explain how this can work for you and possibly change your life if you allow it to and put your time and effort into it. I'm actually here with one of my coaches, Nick. He's one of my top students. He got involved with me about 3 months ago, and he's doing about 6 figures in sales right now a year. So in 3 months, it's pretty life-changing income and whatnot. So pretty fucking awesome. You know, I've been doing this for about two years, a little bit more. I've had experience with like the e-commerce side of the internet. But really, this business model I've just applied for the last 2 years since I left direct sales, network marketing. And there's been a reason why all the people that I was an entrepreneur with 2 years ago, I've surpassed now. And it's because I took my time and energy and I put it into something that can compound, something that can pay me out every day. I wanted a business model where I could put the work in now, I could grind, and I could have something pay me out every day until, you know, I stopped wanting to take free money, I guess. So let's let everyone pile on here. We're like literally only in the first few seconds of this call. We have 80 people on here. So shout out to all you guys for tuning in with us. This is going to be a dope call. I'll be online for about an hour. And I'm going to show you guys really how this business can change your life, because it did for me. You know, there was a point in my life, I was 19. So actually, I'm just going to jump into my story. I think we have enough people on here already. I'm going to jump into my story now. My name is Jeff Bunting. I'm a pretty young entrepreneur. I've been making money online since I was about 16, so I guess you could say I'm a little unordinary, but I didn't do anything unordinary. I played video games. I failed high school. I actually dropped out of high school. I don't have rich parents. That's a conception a lot of people like to say about me. And, you know, I found when I was, 15, when I was in school, I started questioning too much stuff. I started saying, what are these teachers, like, what am I learning? How is any of this going to apply to my future? Because I'd already started making money on, various things, and I'm not talking a lot of money, just like $1,000 or $2,000 a month on the internet. And I realized the power in that, and when I was going to school, I felt like I was wasting my time. When I come home from school, I would be online making money and whatnot. So when I was about 14 years old, I moved from Salmon, Idaho. That's where I grew up, in Idaho, in a population 3,000 town. I was in Idaho, and in 14 I moved to San Diego with my dad. I ended up getting kicked out for partying too much, and I went to live with my sister in Orange County, California, and her 4 kids, and they were all around the age of 6. So I didn't really have a normal family. I didn't really have any normal situation. I was kind of living on my own. I had to find my own ride to school. I had to make my own money. Thank God I had someone to put a roof over my head, because my dad was working and doing all this nonsense. And so it allowed me to kind of get into what I wanted to get into. And so when I was, 14, I started making money online. When I was 16, I ended up actually started training jiu-jitsu. Or I was 15, about to turn 16. I ended up started to train jiu-jitsu, and I fell in love with that sport. And I actually eventually went kind of pro. I won a lot of tournaments. I was one of the best in my division and age in the world. But I realized, me putting all my energy into that sport, that I actually wasn't going to make any money no matter how big I got, because the best people in the world in that sport only made 6 figures. I'm going to tell you guys right now, 6 figures is just enough to be miserable. Because, 6 figures is great if you're a young bachelor, right? 6 figures is awesome. But if you want to raise a family, 6 figures is not going to get you far, because you have car payments, house payments, food, all of the expenses that go into being an actual adult. A lot of people on this call aren't going to understand yet. 6 figures isn't going to get you there. So when I said, I want to actually have a family, I want to actually have a life eventually, and I realized that me doing a sport is not going to get me there. So when I was 16, I actually ended up dropping out of high school. I didn't really have my parents' or anyone's permission, and I ended up moving out on my own. I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with 8 dudes and 2 girls, which still blows my mind. And I lived there for about a year, a year and a half. So I ended up being about 18, and I decided that jiu-jitsu really wasn't for me anymore. I realized that I was broke, I was miserable. There was times where I had $3 in my bank account, $3 in my bank account, and it got to the point where I was just miserable doing that. So I ended up leaving jiu-jitsu. I ended up going into something called direct sales. So I ended up getting into an MLM company, and I did really well. I made about $5-6 grand a month. And I felt after about a year, so I'm trying to relate to you MLM people, I felt that after about a year of doing that, I felt like I kind of sold my soul. I got a lot of knowledge, I got a lot of experience, but I sold my soul, and I was selling people all the time, and that's not what I wanted for my life. I wanted to be a legit entrepreneur. Those type of businesses and home-based businesses, it's not a legit business. You're not a legit entrepreneur, and the reason I say that is because you don't have employees. You don't have a product besides the product the company makes, and you don't sell it for the right reason 95% of the time. And I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do with my future either. So I ended up getting into something, which is what I'm about to explain to everyone on this call, called dropshipping. It's called arbitrage, which is the digital art of taking something from one site, selling it on another, and profiting off the difference. So the whole business model is based on Amazon and eBay and these other giant monster online retailers learning how their systems work and learning how to optimize and reach an audience and sell products that are already in the market, products that are already top selling products, and take them, put them on a different platform, and make money off of learning how to move traffic to these products. And I'm not talking ads. I don't do ads on any of my products or anything. Learning how to move organic traffic to products that are overpriced. And this is why my course is called Dropshipping Arbitrage. So that's kind of my story. After about a year, I started making 6 figures net. And about 2 years later, I did about $2.4 million in sales with a 30% profit margin. So close to $800,000, $700,000. This is income disclaimer. Can't promise these results for anyone that actually gets into this business. This is what I was able to do. This year I've already done close to 1.6 million, and it's not even it's not even June, so we're not even halfway through the year. Now, what I want to do is, that was my story. I want to bring Nick in. Nick is one of my, again, top students. He's going to kind of explain how he got involved with me, his experience, and also he's going to show you guys how to find a profitable item. If you guys want to take this business model seriously, he's going to show you guys how it works, kind of how to find a profitable item. And I'm going to pull up these websites for him right now. So I want everyone on this call actually to kind of come up with some questions, think about some things, because we're going to do a big Q&A at the end. And we can go over everyone's questions so you guys understand all of this. But Nick, take it away.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So, my name is Nick Fitzgerald. I've done a lot of things from when I was young to now, a lot of things online and a lot of different things. I was in the Army for 5.5 years. Used to jump out of airplanes for a living. It was kind of fun. But when I was 18 years old, I met a lady that sold bicycle parts on eBay. And so I raced motocross and BMX most of my youth. So I decided she wanted to put motocross into her store, but she didn't understand it. So I started helping her, and basically we would push around $60,000 a month through eBay on an eBay store. So that's where I kind of got my feet wet with eBay and selling things online. And then from there, once I joined the Army, I kind of just did my own thing from time to time. But I always was curious about drop shipping because I knew that there was a way to not have to go spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on inventory and still be able to make money. Because who on here has $50,000 to go start their own product, get it sourced, get it manufactured, and order 10,000 units? Probably not that many people. I know I didn't have that. So I was figuring, like, let's find a way. So I always was curious about drop shipping. And I got tired of doing all these other things. And I wanted a place where I could do stuff from my computer, like legitimately do things from my computer instead of, like, I technically don't have to interact with anybody to make money. I don't have to talk to a single person. Occasionally, I will have to send an email to somebody customer service related, but I don't have to talk to them. So I can make money from anywhere in the world and not talk to them. So basically, I want to explain how we do that and show you just a little taster of how you can find an item that's profitable on eBay. So, hey Jeff, you want to come over here and hold this up so that we can do it? So I want somebody to give me, so that you guys don't think like scripted this, I want someone to name out an item. It can be anything, like just someone, it could be a couch, a table, an outdoor thing, like somebody start commenting stuff.
Yeah, so someone come up with an item, we're gonna find it, and we're gonna find someone making money. No sex toys. But I'm literally, Nick's about to show you guys that while someone's sleeping, every single day, someone's making money off items like this online. Someone said a drone, pots and pans. Pots and pans probably be the best.
Yeah, let's do.
First person said that.
So pots and pans. If I could type, this keyboard's weird.
Yeah, I told you, the new MacBook's kind of strange.
Alright, pots and pans. So I'm just on eBay right now, and I'm looking for pots and pan sets. So I'm just going to try to find one. It looks like it's selling decently, so let's take a look at this one. Alright, this looks like a drop shipping item. You can usually tell because they're kind of like a stock photo. They're not one that like you can tell somebody took it with like their iPhone at their house. So we're going to get it on here, and we're going to do a quick image search to see if we can find it. Oh wait, you're not using the right browser. Alright, so we're just going to copy this title, and we're going to paste it into Google and see if we can find who they're buying this item from. So right here, I see we have a set for the same set right here on eBay or Amazon, $131.21, and they're over here, and it's $150.
This person sold 49 of these at a $20 profit margin minus some fees and whatnot.
So this is like how easy it is. Now, not every up right away is going to be profitable, but there's tons of them. I find them every day. So a little bit about where I've done with dropshipping. So I heard about Jeff, and there's so many people selling different courses online when it comes to dropshipping and other entrepreneurial ventures that it's really hard to tell like who's legit and who's not legit. One thing I do know is you can't buy the cars that Jeff has unless you have money. It's just not possible. And everyone that ever says that anyone that has fancy cars rents them, you obviously have never rented one of those cars. So I could buy one before I could rent one. That's how much they cost. They're almost like a monthly payment per day to rent them. So we'll just get rid of that. So anyway, so I knew he had been doing something right to be able to make that happen. So then I talked to him and learned a little bit more about like what he was doing and what the course was going to be like. Because it's an investment. Like, we're not going to teach you a skill that over time can make you tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars for nothing. Plus, we want people that really want to do this. I spend a lot of time one-on-one with the students. Like last night, I went 4 hours straight with one-on-ones with students. So that's the best part about getting in when we're doing these test group niches in small groups, because you get a lot more one-on-one attention. So anyway, I started 3 months ago, and of course when you start, it's a long-term game. Like, you can't just get on eBay and all of a sudden you're making $1 million in one day. As any student that's on here right now can tell you. Like, Austin's commenting left and right in here, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Me and him are like battling for number one on a regular basis. So, but you're going to start out in the beginning, and you may get really low limits on eBay when we start teaching you. You may be one of those people, unfortunately, that can only sell 10 items a month when you first start. But it's okay. We're going to teach you how to be able to get those increased, start selling items, how to find profitable items, and then we'll keep scaling up. It's going to take you about 4 to 6 months to get to the point where you're making between $500 and $1,000 a month profit, like actually in your pocket profit. And then from there, we'll go to a whole nother level of training. So there's going to be a really big foundation, there's going to be a compounding period, and then it's big scale time. What's up?
Oh, John. I'll sit down. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So now I'm going to get into some cool stuff. I'm going to explain a lot of things. Number one, someone asked on here earlier, does dropshipping require startup capital? No. This is a business with almost the lowest overhead of any business. Now, why am I such an advocate for this business model? Because it made me a lot of money? No. Number one is because any new person can get involved with no experience. And this is not me selling you right now, because I'm not going to sell some crazy shit to you on this call. I'm trying to explain this business model and how it changed my life. What it is any person can go start an eBay account, sell something from Amazon for more money using the right strategies. And all you're going to do is buy the product on Amazon and ship it directly to the customer. You never touch the inventory. You never have any overhead. Does that make sense? You're using the other person's money who bought the product from you in the first place. And you're going to use that same money and purchase it off Amazon. There's no other business model out there right now that has overhead. There's a couple cool questions. I'm gonna have to scroll down.
Here, I can look on them over here.
Learning curve? No learning curve. And then, do I file taxes? No, I have a corporation because I have a ton of virtual assistants. I'm gonna get into that in a second. So what I wanted to go over, guys, is why I actually chose this business model. I realize there's three things. Okay, three things. There's plan A in life. Let's go to school, get a job, and do the 40-40-40 deal. What is that? Work 40 years of your life for 40 hours a week to hopefully retire off 40% of your income. Now that plan is dead. Dead. Now there's plan B, which is you're going to go and you're going to open a business, which most of the time, let's just say if you wanted to franchise a business. To franchise a McDonald's, it takes literally $1 million. If you guys have $1 million to franchise a fucking McDonald's, go ahead. I didn't have $1 million when I wanted to become an entrepreneur. When I realized that I didn't need a fucking boss. So excuse my language for the people that, those are mostly my age people in this, but excuse my language. I realized I didn't want a boss. When I was in school, I would listen to the teachers and I'd say, I don't know why I'm listening to you. You're not happy? 99% of the teachers in the school system aren't happy. I said, you're not an idol to me. I don't respect you. I respect that you're taking your time to teach me as a kid, but I don't respect anything you've done with your life. You're not a mentor of anything. And so I said to myself, that's not what I want. I'm not trying to learn from people like that. Because of the internet, I had a bigger picture of everything. I saw these people on making money when I was 15, 16 online on YouTube and everything. People making money, killing it at 25. And I said, why am I in school to do this? And I said, school makes me miserable and it doesn't even feel like my passion. I'm going to teach you guys something about depression right now. 95% of people that have depression are just upset and sad because they're not on the right path for their life. And that's where entrepreneurship helped me find myself, because I get to make my own schedule. I get to live the laptop lifestyle. If I want to go to Miami for a week, I'm good to do that because my business is ran online from a laptop. Does that make sense? No other business can do that. Yes, you could join a home-based MLM business and all that nonsense, but there's literally, the problem is those type of business models, guys, all the things online, the little get-rich-quick schemes and everything, the problem with that is it's not real. You don't hire people. You're not a real entrepreneur. You didn't do anything. You didn't build anything. You might build an organization, but there's no real validity in anything. And so it's not me really talking shit, but so to get back into the conversation about startup capital, guys. Startup capital, you maybe need $250 a month. $250 a month. My overhead is about a couple thousand, but that's because I've outsourced all of my work, and I'm going to get into that right now. This business is one of the most lucrative business models because you can outsource all of your work. I don't work at all besides fixing problems, managing money, handling finances, and paying bills. I literally get a check every week from my corporation, and that's the end of the discussion, okay? Now, I'm going to go through a couple of these questions before I close this out. And so essentially, yeah, everyone, you are the businessman, the middleman in this entire operation, which is just the most beautiful thing. It's called arbitrage. If you Google it right now, and you're going to see people, guys, you're going to see I let about 100 students in to my first coaching group, and I closed the doors completely. And I have so many success stories now, it's crazy. Do I use any SKU? So someone's asking me, this is a more advanced question. Matt, I do not use a listing tool. It's not the way to go for eBay or Amazon. I don't believe in them. Some people swear by them. I don't believe in them at all. So I'm going to explain to you guys this again. How this works You're gonna go on you're gonna list something on eBay, correct? Someone's gonna buy it from you on eBay. Let's say you list a set of pots and pans for $50. It's $40 on Amazon. You list it on eBay for 60, $75. What you're gonna do is when it sells on eBay, you're not gonna go order it to yourself and then ship it to the customer, because that would require inventory. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take the money the person bought it from you, the $70. You're gonna go buy it on Amazon for $40, and you're gonna keep 30. No overhead, no risk, no liability. You don't gotta go take a business loan for $100,000. You don't have to have a warehouse with inventory. That is what the future is coming to. That's why all these giant retailers, not online retailers, in-store retailers are closing down, because people like us, people that understand the internet, realize that this is always gonna win. Innovation over hard work every day. And it's the most simple concept, guys. You gotta understand this. You can go and you can sell an item and make $5 profit, but if you sell an item 14 to 100 times a day at a $5 margin, you're making fucking insane amounts of money off that one item. And it compounds, guys. I had Nick, his first month, I think he made, how much do you think he made your first month?
Probably $200.
$200. And now this month he's probably going to clear over, $3,000 net. Third month in, and that compounds. So that means there's insane compounding growth every single month. I don't know what my monthly sales are, but I know I just checked a couple days ago, and I was at like 1.7 million for the year already. So, would you rather sell an item with a higher profit margin? It all depends, man. You sell items, all profit margins all the time.
Here's a good question. I would recommend not doing that right away.
So I don't recommend outsourcing from the beginning, because it's like, imagine building a basketball team and not knowing how to play basketball. You probably wouldn't be the best coach, Probably wouldn't be the best employer. So you kind of have to understand the business model. That's why none of my students I allow to outsource in the beginning, because you have to master these skills. You have to master getting that amount of competentness in the business before you can teach, especially someone overseas. I mean, they have a hard learning curve. And that's just because of the language barrier and, the society barrier and whatnot. So if an item doesn't sell, eBay charges you. Nope. Sounds like a pyramid scheme. You set all that up with eBay in the back office? I don't know what you're saying, Trey. How do you avoid a 21-day hold? That actually goes away in about 1 to 3 months of selling, and some people don't even get it. So if you have a 21-day hold, you're just gonna have to use your own money for the first 3 months of your business, but after that, easy.
If you have a credit card, then you'll have 30 days where you don't have to pay your bills, so by the time the funds get released, you'll have the money to pay off your credit card, so super easy.
Okay, Garrett, perfect question. I'm gonna explain to you guys why this is scalable. So let's say every day you start this business today. Every day you list 3 items. Let's say out of the 21 items you list in a week, 3 start converting, 5 start converting, 10 start converting. It's all just random numbers. Let's say 10 start converting, I make $5 a sale. Each of them sell 1 day a week, so I'm making $50 a week. But every week I'm listing those 21 items. And let's say every week I'm adding another $50 reoccurring profit into my business. Okay? Now, by the end of the first month, I'm going to be making an extra $200 a month. But that $50 is going to increase every single week, that profit. And the sales will start to increase on all of the items that are converting. You might not sell 1 a week, you might sell 10 a week. Does that make sense? So now, over the course of 365 days, when you're listing 3 items a day, which is 1,000 items, and you're having a 10% conversion rate, and you're making your profits anywhere from 5 to 20%, and then all of these items keep selling. When you list them, they stay up on your eBay store. All the work you did from 3 weeks ago pays you today, every single day. That's how this compounds. Now, what you do is the systems you can build on top of that. This is a business that is scalable and outsourceable to the highest degree, right? You can go hire VAs, virtual assistants, for pennies on the dollar of what you hire a normal employee, or you hire a normal employee. Your profit margins are still probably great enough to do that. And you're going to be able to teach them how to fulfill orders, how to handle tracking, how to manage customer service, how to manage accounting. What does that allow you to do? Not work. Right? So a lot of you guys are asking me about AliExpress in this chat and how to drop ship from that and finding niches. I don't drop ship like that. I don't find niches. I don't go find a product and create it and then drop ship it to, whatever, or any of that. I don't do that. I don't find niches. What I do is I sell anything and everything. And I put a profit margin on it, and I use good optimization strategies to move traffic to them. And I do not have my own website. I do not push my own traffic. I let eBay do that for me. Let me Google this stat for you guys. eBay monthly searches. What is the right way to say this? What would be eBay monthly? How would I search this? How many people you search?
Monthly eBay users. We'll pull it up.
There we go. We have number of eBay users active. We have 167 million active eBay users in 2016. I'm not sure the stat in 2017. In 2016, if there's 167 million people, they found all the traffic for me. They found everyone that's going to buy my items for me. Now all I got to do is optimize it so they see it. All those 167 million people are going to buy their item. They're going to get their item fast as fuck from their supplier, whether it is Amazon. Now, it's not just Amazon. We're using that as a perfect example. Overstock, Wayfair, Walmart, Target, all of these places you can drop ship from. You can find items and make a profit connection on it. And my dog just came in. I'll show you guys him in a second. But yeah, so I mean, guys, it's a compounding business model that you can literally build to the moon. And then eventually you hire VAs to do the listing for you. So you have, I have 10 VAs that work for me. They do anything from making new listings, handling customer service, doing everything. And the problem is some people are saying, man, do you guys hear my dog? But anyways, kind of hard to concentrate. But anyways, this will never become saturated. Never. It will never become saturated. Why? Because millions of items are entering the marketplace every week. On top of that, there's already millions and millions of items in the marketplace. Period. So more items are coming in. Millions of items that have never been dropshipped before are in the market. So how is adding thousands of new people dropshipping going to change those numbers? It's not. You can't even do a dent into it. This business is unsaturatable. Some of you guys have really, kind of, so if you buy it, send it for $40, they return it to Amazon, you still have your $20. Why would they return the product? What if Walmart or Target listing the product as well? Can you outrank them? Oh, if they're listing it on eBay, well, you can probably outrank them because the way you can do optimization strategies, you can optimize for different types of searches. So you can optimize for a search that's not even pots and pans if you're selling pots and pans. You could optimize for, the spoons in the set or something, some nonsense. How do you post the exact ad from one website to eBay? Yep, Garrett, that's 100% right. Some of you guys are asking about returns too. Returns is the most simplest thing ever. All you do for returns is if the customer says, hey, this item came broken. You set up a prepaid label on one of the wholesalers, they ship it directly back to Amazon, Amazon refunds you, you refund the buyer. Again, this is such clean-cut business ever. So at the end of the day, guys, I think I'm going to end this here. But I wanted to talk about my test groups and what I'm doing because, and I'm also going to do a giveaway. Probably tomorrow I'm going to let one person into the test group for free. And so that's a $1,500, free gift. But I have about 100 students plus. We're killing it. Everyone's doing extremely well. If you guys are interested in this, you have most of the info here. You can see some testimonials in the comments of the post. I did a post about 3 days ago about this Facebook Live, and it has my sales for the year already. And there's a ton of screenshots of just people doing so well in the training and whatnot. And I only open this up to a certain amount of people every once in a while. And so I'm about to open the doors after this call. I'm going to let about 30, 40 people into the group. The price is $1,500. It teaches you how to do literally everything. And you have your hand held the entire time. And so if you guys have interest in that, just shoot me a message. I'll get back to you with any other questions or anything you have. And I hope you guys have a great day because we are. So yeah, have a great night, guys. Nick, we out.
All right, have a good one. If you're not friends with me on Facebook, add me so I can answer your questions.
See you guys. Peace.